friends. Hope you are doing well. Last class we discussed some multiplexing elements, and prior to that we studied some of the ADCs and DACs. Today we'll discuss uh, data acquisition system. Remember the signals those we'll be getting from our mechatronics systems, like I have a processor or a sugar processing plant, let us say, and in that sugar processing plant I have got boilers, I have got mixers, I have got reactors, I have got filters, and from each of these units I'll be getting data from the sensors. Now this data from the sensors is needed to be processed, and it is to be processed by a computer, let us say. So we need to make this analog data from the sensors suitable for the computer to receive, or the processor, microprocessor to receive, and thereafter it will send the control signals to maybe the actuators, or it may send the control signals to our controlling devices. So data acquisition system plays a very vital role in mechatronic systems. As you can see in the block diagram, I have got many analog inputs. These correspond to various sensors. Various sensors will be sending, maybe pressure sensor will be sending some analog data. Then temperature sensor will be sending some analog data. Maybe the flow sensor will be sending some analog data. Like that, mass flow rate, and whatever are the parameters, different sensors will be sending different data. Now, as we discussed in the last class, the multiplexer, what way it helps? The multiplexers processes the signal one by one. Okay, so it doesn't process the signal simultaneously. In that case, I'll be requiring different ADCs, I'll be requiring different amplifiers, but I'll be using these ADCs or DACs and whatever are the components. Only single component is sufficient, because multiplexer, what it does is it receives the sensor data one after the other, and this sensor data, which is analog signal, that will be amplified, and it will be sent to the A to D converter, analog to digital converter. Now this analog to digital converter modifies or converts that analog amplified data into digital data. Now this digital data is either sent to the control elements or control register or the status register, or it is sent after processing, it is sent to the data register. And thereafter, if there is a control requirement, the controller part of the processor will take that data from the data register, and process it and send to the controller. Or this data, when we are sitting on a computer terminal, now this data acquisition card will be there put inside our motherboard. So there will be one slot for receiving for this data acquisition card, the data acquisition. So this is called as a DAQ card or data acquisition card. So this is the connector for that data acquisition card. So from my computer, I'll be connecting the connector to this data acquisition card. So as and when from my computer screen, I'll be asking for maybe temperature data. So this temperature data, this connector will send a signal to the data register. So the data register will give the required data to the computer, back to the computer, and then on the computer you can either manually process, or the computer as a controller will make a decision of its own what to do with that signal. So this is how this data acquisition system plays a very important role in mechatronic devices. So let us see, the term data acquisition for DAQ is used for the process of taking signals from sensors and inputting that data into a computer for processing. The sensors are connected generally via some signal conditioning to a data acquisition board. So sensors are connected through a signal condition. What are these? These are the signal conditioning devices. Those are not directly given to the computer, So multiplexing, amplification, and ADCs or DACs as the case may be. So the sensors are connected generally via some signal conditioning devices to a data acquisition board which is plugged into the back of the computer. As I said, on the motherboard of the computer, we have this data input slot. In that slot, this DAQ card or data acquisition card is just inserted, and thereafter that data is taken for further processing. The DAQ board is a printed circuit board for analog inputs. Basically, it provides a multiplexer, an amplifier, analog to digital converter, then registers for storage of data, and then control circuitry so that sampled digital signals are applied to the computer system. The computer software is used to control the acquisition of data via the DAQ board. The computer